In verse 9, those who came were hired the 11th hour. They each received a denarius. When the first came, they supposed they would receive more, and they likewise received. He skipped the 3 o'clock workers, the noon workers, the 9 a.m. workers, and jumped all the way to the 6 a.m. workers because Jesus is trying to make a point. He's not just being dramatic. If he were being dramatic, he'd walk through everybody getting their pay stubs. But he isn't. He's not trying to tell you a true story. He's trying to tell you a real story. How many of you know there's a difference in a true story and a real story? A true story happened on the timeline of humanity. A real story keeps happening on the timeline of humanity. There's a difference. How many of you know this Bible is full of real stories? Don't worry about if they're true stories. Understand that they're real stories. They happen often over and over again. So I don't know if Matthew 20 is a true story, but I'm really sure it's a real story because Jesus jumps right to the heart of it. That's what you do with real stories. You go right to the drama, and he jumps right to the worker that agreed for a whole day's wages if he started in the morning. And when they get to the front of the line, they suppose they would get more. Now, I want to ask you, why did they think they would get more? This is a good moment of good introspection for every Bible student. We all realize in this verse that thinking they would receive more is natural. Why do we think that? They were what? They were glunkered. Gotcha. Sorry, I didn't hear you. Yeah. Okay. They worked longer. Okay. But why do we think that they would expect to get more when they agreed for exactly what they got? Because fairness. Because they believed in a world of fairness. If you work the whole day, you get paid for the whole day. If you don't work the whole day, you don't get paid for the whole day. That's fair. This is how the economy is supposed to work. They go, we agreed to work for the whole day. We expect to get paid for the whole day. I'm fine with that, but I just watched you pay that guy exactly what you're paying me, so I expect more. Why do you expect more? We had an agreement that you were going to work for this amount. You worked for this amount. I'm not ripping you off. I told you what I'd pay you. You said, yeah, we had a handshake deal. You raised your hand, jumped in the truck, you worked all day. Here's exactly what I promised you. What's the problem? I think I should deserve more because this verse shows us that inherently, deep down inside of us is a sense of performance-based fairness. If people do good, they should get more. If they do bad, they should get less. If they do poorly, they should be cursed. And that is so inherent in us that even in light of doing the right thing, which is the contract you signed to work for, we still think that it's unfair. Even though we signed up for it, it's unfair. Why? Because it's not fair that I did this and got this and they did that and got what I got. We need an equitable system where we all get the same thing. And when they received it, they complained against the landowner. And they said, verse 12, these men worked 1 hour and you made them equal to us who borne the burden in the heat of the day. And he answered one of them and said, Heteros, I didn't do you wrong. Did you not agree with me for a denarius? Friend. But man, it ain't no, I don't call you servants, I call you friends. So what is it? You said that we were going to make this much, but we watched these guys who only worked 1 hour get what's equal to us. We're the ones that bore the burden. We're the ones that bore the heat of the day. We worked harder. We deserve to get more. And the master's response is, Buster, I didn't do anything wrong. Listen up, Buster. I didn't do you wrong. I gave you exactly what I promised to give you. Did you not agree with me for a denarius? The real money is right here in 14 and 15. 14, take what's yours and go your way. I wish to give to this last man the same as to you. Okay, let's pause right there for a moment. Take what's yours and get out. Take what's yours and go live your life. I gave you exactly what you signed up for. Take what's yours and go live your life. Stop worrying about the 11th hour guy and go live your own life. The reason I think don't be a buster is appropriate here is because when we get in a mode of trying to judge who gets grace, who gets favor, and how much they get, our self-righteous performance always rears its ugly head, and we go from what should be an affectionate friend to a buster about like that. And don't live in an environment, don't put yourself and allow yourself to be in an environment where you try to be equitable with grace. Take what's yours and go live your life. And don't tell God who he gets to pay and who he gets to love and how much he gets to shower on people. Take what's yours, go your way. I wish to give to this last man the same as you. Watch this in 15. Is it not lawful for me to do what I wish with my own things? Or is your eye evil because I'm good? I'll deal with that last one in a second, that first part. Don't I get to do what I want with my own money? Now, we, of course, say, yeah, a boss gets to do whatever he wants with his own money. He goes, I want to pay everyone what I want to pay everyone. I don't want to pay them what they've earned. I want to pay them what I'm worth. What I'm worth. And I want to give it to them not what they're worth. I want to give to them what I'm worth. Because I don't give to you based on what you do. I give to you based on how good I am. Listen, that's God speaking to you. I do not give to you based on how good you are. I give to you based on how good I am. God's grace is not a gift because you've been good. God's grace is a gift because God is good. Is your eye evil because I'm good? That's an old phrase from the old covenant. Because in the old covenant, the Bible tells us that, and there's a lot of phrases in the old world for evil eye, a lot of which are not biblical. There was an old phrase for evil eyes, and when you looked at someone with an evil eye, you could put a curse on them. But in the Torah, the evil eye was the guy that would look upon the poor and not be generous to them. The Old Testament called that a man with an evil eye. And it's interesting that Jesus uses that in this story. He says, have you become one of those people who look upon everyone else and judge what they receive? Don't be that guy. Don't be a buster. Don't be that guy that cannot allow grace to go do what grace will do.